Hello, this is Dr. Grande. Today I will analyze the case of Justyn Pennell. First, I'll look at the background of this case, move to the timeline of the crime, then offer my analysis. Justyn Mitchell Pennell was born on March 15, 1998, and lived in Hudson, Florida. This is 41 miles north of Tampa. Justyn's mother, Dawn Haas, was 19 years old when he was born. His father was not in the picture. Dawn later married and had 2 daughters. The family lived in a 672-square-foot house on Sea Pines Drive in Hudson. Much of the background information about Justyn comes from his mother, Dawn. She spoke to the media after the crime that I will be reviewing in a moment. Here are the claims that Dawn made about Justyn. When he was young, Justyn would wander the house at night as Dawn and her husband were sleeping. He would enter their bedroom and stare at her as she slept. When Dawn woke up, she would see Justyn and be frightened. He would not say anything. After a few minutes, Justyn would snap out of it and say, "I'm okay, I'm awake," then go back to bed. Dawn thought his behavior was creepy and scary. Justyn was angry all the time. This anger would be particularly intense when he did not get his way. He would have episodes of screaming, which Dawn referred to as complete meltdowns. He once bit someone on the arm, and Dawn had to pick him up from school. When he was 9 years old, Justyn became annoyed with a duck that was swimming near him because the duck was loud and noisy. He slammed the duck against a log repeatedly. Justyn did not tell the story to his mother until a few years later. He said something switched in his brain. He did not know why he did it. Dawn said that when Justyn was in grade school, he was bullied by the same group of classmates for over 6 years. Allegedly, they shot him with pellet and paintball guns and slammed his face into the concrete, breaking his nose. It's a little hard to believe that no arrest would be made if this story was true, but this is what Dawn claimed. When Justyn was around 10 years old, he saw a woman get fatally struck by a car and thrown into the air. He found the situation to be humorous and laughed. When Justyn was 11, he ran away after being grounded due to bad behavior in school. His mother asked him why he believed he could get away with it. Justyn responded that his plan was to kill all of them. This was not necessarily out of anger. Rather, he framed it more as merciful, saying if he killed them, nobody would have to feel anything anymore. When Justyn was 15 years old, his cousin was struck by a motor vehicle. Justyn laughed at his cousin's misfortune, saying that he pictured the collision like a cartoon. At some point, Justyn told his mother that he was hearing voices that told him to hurt her and other people. Dawn became scared of Justyn. Her husband was scared of him as well. He would lock their bedroom door every night. Justyn was taken to see a mental health professional amid concerns that he had psychopathic traits. Dawn was told by the clinician that there was nothing wrong with Justyn. Later, Justyn developed an interest in serving in the military. He attempted to enlist, but he was rejected. He continued to frighten his mother by making various worrisome statements. For example, he told her that he thought about sneaking into a house and killing a family. Dawn contacted the police, but they said that Justyn had to commit a crime before they could take any action. Before moving to the timeline of the crime, let's hear a word from today's sponsor, Venice AI. Recent headlines have made the privacy risks of mainstream AI impossible to ignore. ChatGPT now references all past conversations, and OpenAI added the former director of the NSA to its board, an announcement Edward Snowden called a willful, calculated betrayal of the rights of every person on Earth. Even Sam Altman has said that people should wait for real privacy clarity before trusting these systems. Private conversations, personal searches, and creative ideas are being funneled into corporate servers with unclear data practices and expanding access to your history. Venice takes the opposite approach. It runs powerful open-source AI models directly in your browser or app. All conversations are encrypted and stored only on your device. No corporation, no board, and no government gains access. There are no filters deciding which ideas are allowed. I prefer Venice because it provides unrestricted access and straightforward answers. Mainstream AI platforms often behave like judgmental gatekeepers, refusing harmless topics or blocking perfectly reasonable lines of thought. Their condescending and moralizing responses are nothing short of passive-aggressive, and self-righteous. Venice doesn't lecture, moralize, or decide which ideas are acceptable. It simply responds, privately and directly, without filters or condescension. That consistency and openness make it a far more reliable tool in my day-to-day work. AI can be transformative without demanding a sacrifice of privacy. Venice ensures that transformation happens on your terms. Visit venice.ai/Dr. Todd Grande and use code Dr. Todd Grande to receive 20% off a Pro plan and maintain full control over your data and your conversations. Now moving to the timeline of the crime. On January 9, 2020, at 2:46 p.m., Justyn Pennell called 911 and said, "I am down by Old Dixie behind Sea Pine. I just killed someone." The operator asked him, "How did that happen?" Justyn responded, "I just hit him." The operator asked, "Hit him with what?" Justyn responded, "My car." The operator asked, "Was he walking down the road and you just accidentally hit him?" Justyn responded, "No, I intentionally hit him. I don't know what's wrong with me." The police responded to the scene, which was near the intersection of Arapika Road and Old Dixie Highway in Hudson, Florida. They found Justyn's red 2004 Chrysler PT Cruiser against a utility pole. There was damage to the front of the vehicle and to the windshield. About a quarter of a mile away, the police found a 75-year-old man named Michael Pratt, who Justyn had just killed by driving into him with the PT Cruiser. Michael, who was a Vietnam veteran and a grandfather, had been walking with a cane along the road. Justyn did not know who he was. They were strangers. The police interviewed Justyn. Here's what he told them. Justyn said that he did not want to say he was hearing voices, but, quote, "It just kept sounding like I should kill someone. I should kill someone," unquote. He believed that murder might make him feel better and happier. Justyn explained his strategy for finding a victim, saying, quote, "Recently, I've been driving around these roads I know people occasionally walk on, looking for people I can hit while avoiding witnesses. I don't know why I want to do this. I honestly just wanted to calm down. I ended up going down Arapika. That's when I saw the old guy with the cane. Then I made a U-turn. He was going into the grass. He was trying to avoid me because he saw me coming for him, but I just went for him," unquote. Justyn indicated that he was driving between 50 and 70 miles an hour when he slammed into Michael. Right before the impact, Michael had an expression on his face as if he knew the collision was imminent. Justyn smiled and laughed after seeing the look of fear on Michael's face. After the impact, Michael ended up on the hood of the PT Cruiser. When Michael fell off the hood, Justyn attempted to apply the brakes, but they were not functional. His vehicle had sustained damage from the collision. Justyn turned onto a nearby street and came to rest against a utility pole. This is when he called 911. The police asked Justyn why he intentionally killed Michael Pratt. He indicated that he wanted to kill someone out of curiosity. When asked how he felt after killing Michael, Justyn said, "I enjoyed it." Justyn did not have much regret about the murder at that time, indicating that he had more regret about breaking his vehicle. When asked about other homicidal methods he may have considered, he said, quote, I'm really fond of knives. I was thinking about slicing people up and cutting them open, dissecting them, essentially," unquote. In Justyn's vehicle, the police found a few knives along with a hatchet, a razor knife, a machete, and a pair of gloves. Justyn Pennell was arrested and charged with first-degree premeditated homicide. The state of Florida decided not to pursue the death penalty. Justyn was facing a mandatory term of life in prison if convicted. Over 2 years after the fatal collision, on March 21, 2022, 24-year-old Justyn Pennell pleaded no contest to first-degree premeditated homicide. This was a surprising move because he had nothing to lose by taking the case to trial. On March 23, 2022, he was sentenced to life in prison. In Florida, a life sentence does not have the possibility of parole. At the sentencing hearing, the judge thanked Justyn for not taking the case to trial because it spared the victim's family and his family from a difficult experience. Now moving to my analysis. Here are my thoughts on a few areas that stood out to me in this case. Item number 1. Before Justyn pleaded no contest, his intent was to take the case to trial. His defense wanted to introduce his mental health as a factor. Justyn had autism spectrum disorder, depression, and post-traumatic stress disorder. The judge denied the motion, so Justyn was left without any viable defense. Pleading no contest may have seemed noble on Justyn's part, but going to trial would have resulted in the same outcome. His chances of an acquittal were unbelievably small. Maybe he could have bought some time with a mistrial. However, eventually he was going to be convicted, no matter what. Item number 2. As I mentioned, Justyn's mother, Dawn, wondered if he possessed psychopathic traits. Let's take a look at Justyn's behavior, including the allegations made by his mother, like his creepy behavior as a child, and see how well they align with the traits of psychopathy. Justyn appeared to be cold and callous. For instance, he laughed when people sustained injuries, and he slammed a duck against a log. He had poor control over his behavior, displaying anger and aggression. He found himself in trouble in school for behavioral problems. Justyn was impulsive, irresponsible, and excitement-seeking. He drove around looking for someone to kill. And, initially, he did not demonstrate any remorse. Justyn was more worried about the damage he had caused to his vehicle rather than killing Michael Pratt. There are several other psychopathic traits where there is little to no alignment with Justyn's behavior. For example, he did not possess superficial charm, he was not grandiose, he was not a pathological liar, and he was not manipulative. These traits are often seen in individuals who are more socially skilled and capable of blending in. Justyn, by contrast, appeared to be awkward, creepy, and frightening. He did not have the skills to be a con artist. Justyn did not display criminal versatility. Essentially, he committed one type of offense, albeit an extremely serious one. Even though Justyn did premeditate his crime, his execution was crude and highly detectable. He was not strategic or calculating. When looking at the totality of the evidence, Justyn did appear to have some psychopathic traits, particularly in the affective and behavioral domains. He did not have many of the interpersonal features that are central to psychopathy. This construct is sometimes divided into primary and secondary psychopathy. A primary psychopath possesses some social skills and is calculating. They tend to refrain from criminal activity if they believe that their probability of escaping justice is low. A secondary psychopath is reckless and disorganized. They prioritize immediate gratification with little regard for consequences. Justyn's behavior aligns more with secondary psychopathy. He was unsophisticated and impulsive. Item number 3, what do I think happened in this case? This is just a theory, my opinion. Justyn Pennell was self-centered, impulsive, reckless, irresponsible, sensation-seeking, cold, callous, sadistic, frustrated, irritated, angry, aggressive, violent, emotionally dysregulated, had a sense of entitlement, and was exceedingly creepy. He became fascinated with the idea of committing murder. Justyn's high level of impulsivity meant that these disturbing thoughts could more easily become a reality. He liked the idea of conducting a knife attack, but running someone over with his vehicle was easier. As he drove around, he looked for an opportunity to slam his vehicle into an innocent victim. Justyn found this opportunity on January 9, 2020, in the form of Michael Pratt walking alone on a lightly traveled road. He made a U-turn, accelerated toward Michael, and struck him with his vehicle, killing him. After this murder, Justyn could have lied and said that he ran Michael over by accident. A manslaughter conviction would still be likely, but not first-degree premeditated homicide. Instead, Justyn immediately confessed to the murder. He said that he ran Michael over intentionally. Justyn knew that something was wrong with him. This disturbed him. He did not approve of his own behavior. Ultimately, he pleaded no contest. In a strange sense, Justyn had developed some level of insight, not enough to know exactly why he committed the murder, but enough to know that he needed to be in prison for the rest of his life. Those are my thoughts in the case of Justyn Pennell. Thank you so much for watching. I'll talk to you soon.